Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and most mind-boggling side of tech available on the interwebs. I am your tech guru, Ray McNeil. Coming up on the program today, it's a bunch of stories that I've had to cut from previous episodes due to time. We'll also wrap up the program with this week's Moment of Joy. All that and a whole lot more coming up on today's edition of your weekly tech update. Next. Virgin Hyperloop has taken a massive step closer to realizing its new form of transportation with its first crewed test. At the company's DevLoop facility in Nevada, 2 passengers were fired through the 500-meter tube. The company says it marks a new frontier in the development of the vacuum tube technology. Company co-founder Josh Geigel and head of passenger experience Sarah Luchin were on board for the first run. Geigel's involvement as head of the project was an obvious choice to show how confident he felt about the work, while Luchin was one of 40 employees who volunteered to ride in the capsule's other seat. The company says that both were given extensive tests and training to ensure that they were healthy and prepared for the trip. The pair traveled in a brand new second-generation Hyperloop pod, codenamed XP2, the Pegasus pod. XP2 was designed to comfortably seat and support 2 passengers. Both seats have beefy 5-point harnesses, the sort of thing that you'd find in a race car, but they're the only modifications used for the test. That's because the pod was designed to mirror a real Hyperloop journey in as many ways as possible, and the real things are envisioned more like a subway ride than a rocket. In order to maintain a comfortable experience for acceleration and braking, the capsule's speed in this test was limited to 107 miles per hour. That's less than half of the pod's top speed in the tube, which maxed out at about 240 miles per hour during tests at the end of 2017. This is mostly down to the length of the tube, however. 500 meters isn't long enough to reach the sort of speeds that the company promises to reach. But greater speeds are likely to be demonstrated when the second Hyperloop facility is built in West Virginia. As one company representative told Engadget, "This is our moon landing. Demonstrating that the pod is safe for human consumption is a big milestone in its journey. It may also encourage more investors and regulators to get on board to help bankroll the next stage of this evolution." Virtual reality doesn't quite match up to the reality label without tactile sensations, but that might not be an issue for too much longer. Cornell scientists have developed a new form of stretchable skin sensor that uses fiber optics to provide a sense of touch. It's inspired by silica-based fiber sensors that look for subtle wavelength changes to measure elements like temperature. In a prototype glove, each finger has a stretchable light guide that combines one transparent polyurethane core as well as an LED-linked core loaded with absorbent dyes. When you deform the light guide through bending your fingers or encountering pressure, the dye serves as a spatial encoder that lights up and registers exactly what's happening, and importantly, where. The technology is still quite rudimentary at the moment. The team's glove is a 3D printed one-off with Bluetooth and a battery and just some basic circuitry. The potential uses are quite clear, however. Future VR gloves, not to mention augmented reality, could give you feedback when you touch and grab virtual objects. It might not perfectly mimic real life, but you'd at least know when you came into contact with something. It could also give robots a sense of touch that helps them react to their environment and better handle delicate objects. At this point, smell might be the only sense that's conspicuously lacking in VR, and that might be coming sooner than you think. One of the biggest downfalls of the PlayStation VR Gen 1 hardware was its tracking. It would use a camera that was basically attached above your TV, kind of like the Wii sensor bar was, and it would use that as its aspect to track all of the lights that were built into the headset, built into the Move controllers, which came out many years ago for the PlayStation 3. And of course, they had tracking lights built into the DS4 controllers as well. Well, this time around, they are going with inside-out tracking. The Oculus Quest, the Oculus Rift S, and pretty much all new headsets are using inside-out tracking with no external sensors to worry about. There's 4 or 5 cameras on the headset itself, and it picks up where your controllers are and can track everything that goes on from there. It's a much better way of tracking and moving within VR. Upload VR source also claimed that the next-gen Sony headset would feature haptic feedback built into the headset, giving developers a new way to help players feel the in-game action. The new motor in the headset will be in addition to the touch-centric features already announced for the next-gen PSVR controllers, including adaptive triggers that can offer resistance, just like on the normal DualSense controller and the controller's own haptic feedback features. Long story short, high-quality rumble is definitely on the menu. It is still wired. It's not going to be a wireless competitor to the Quest 2. However, they have pared down the wire and the whole system in general. It's going to be connected with a single USB-C cable that runs between your headset and the PS5. That's a massive improvement on the current PlayStation VR that has a multi-wire breakout box, but still quite far away from the freedom that you would feel of a wireless headset like the Quest 2. Aside from the wired thing, the purported details in these leaks are pretty encouraging and suggest that Sony remains serious when it says our commitment to virtual reality as a medium for games is stronger than ever. While this next-gen PlayStation VR won't be launching this year, here's hoping PlayStation 5 players can eventually enjoy some top-tier VR alongside their Oculus Quest 2 and PC VR brethren.